charge my phone.
Welcome in again, everyone. Welcome back to Tier 2, Round 8, Austria. You're joined by me, DJ, or me, WHFR, and DJ.
Hello.
And unfortunately, we had an early ready up in the session, so we've had to do a restart now, and we've got everyone back in the lobby, everyone in their correct grid order, and we will have 36 laps around the Austrian circuit. And it should be an exciting one. We did have Codzilla on pole ahead of Tyclear and NF. And what were we going to say, DJ?
My money's on Tyclear.
Yeah.
Because I reckon if it didn't rain, he would have got pole by a mile, and that would have put him in a. Even though that would have put him in a slightly worse position, because there's like 3 DRS detections in the entire track. That is all in like 4 or 5 corners. It's obviously going to be very tactical with DRS games. Single tactics, Cthulhu on the hard tires compared to everybody else who is on mediums. I think he's trying the alternate strategy for this race in Austria. He's not alone though, as his teammate goes on hard tires as well. That is a lot of people changing. They're definitely not alone now, and as Michael Lewis and Dubsy switch to the hard compound tires, who else is going to be switching their strategy around? And Stephen is going hard as well.
But anyway, for those of you who have missed, we did have a lobby restart, and we will be going in 1 minute's time for 36 laps around the Austria circuit here in Spielberg. And I hear from the chat there might be rain on the way. I did not set the weather because I may have forgot, but to whoever readied up early, it's on them, not on me. I am not taking accountability for my actions. As we will finally have, you can hear the tone coming in, so we will get ready now. And we will have the 5 red lights on. And they're out here in Spielberg. Everyone gets away well, especially Codzilla starting from pole. Brilliant start there for Cod. Meanwhile, it's too wide in behind. NF keeps it around the outside of Arn. As we've got a yellow flag in the background. That's Forward Journey, our pole sitter from last week, already down the order. As there's some damage in the midfield already. Oh, and it's a big shot there. The lanky one into the rear. I don't know if he survived with his front wing intact, as there's cars absolutely everywhere now. With Arn having a look on NF. We've got Womack on the inside of Arn. Can the Haas defend from the Aston Martin? Side by side they go. Into turn 5.
Yeah, round the outside.
Round the outside is Womack, still trying to skate it round the outside through 6. Arn has to back out, but can he get the run? Exiting the corner, they're still side by side up the hill. They go NF, trying to defend from both of these drivers here. Side by side for half a lap, and Womack finally gets that move. Brilliant racing here. Already on lap 1, as we've had a couple drivers around early on. Forward Journey immediately going to have to try and recover from what was lost. Meanwhile, Scon's going to lose out to Dub Z into turn 1. We've got a Red Bull on the inside. That's Pneumatic, who's up to P13. Dobo possibly going to get back ahead of his teammate, as we've got the lanky one battling with Lime now. Round the outside of Lime goes the lanky one, looking for the switchback if he can get it out of turn 3. The lanky one now all over the rear of the Mercedes, as the Mercedes trying to defend here with the DRS, but the lanky one now going to pick the outside. Lime has damage on that front left end plate of the Mercedes, so he's going to struggle in this race. If the lanky one can pick away past, had to back out there. There was no gap there to go for a move. But Lime already outside DRS's. Meanwhile, Womack has gotten past NF in the middle sector. How has that happened? What a move from Womack, able to get past NF in the Mercedes. But importantly now, they're all out of DRS. Womack now is 1.5 behind Tyclear and Codzilla, who now lead this race. Can Womack use the pace that he has in hand to get back inside DRS of that front two pair, who are looking for their first win of the season here, as Ty Clare now may take the lead of the race as he heads now into turn 3. The Ferrari driver does just that, as Coldzilla going to look to come back at the Ferrari driver with the DRS. But if Ty Clare and Coldzilla are smart here, they'll just work together to gap the drivers behind. Meanwhile, Scones and Ellis seem to have a coming together. Scones' front wing's almost nearly gone, as Ellis has gone off, has a 3-second time penalty. Something major's happened here back down the order. Meanwhile, Creekry may lose out to Pneumatic. Pneumatic gets round ahead of Creekry as Dub Z gets ahead of Dobo. We've had a lot of chaos in the midfield there that we've missed. Meanwhile, the lanky one on the hard tyres, remember, still trying to find a way past F1 line. As there's a yellow flag around, that's for Creekry, I believe. As Scones
Really gets 3 seconds.
gets ahead.
Michael Lewis though, the fan from Dubsy, but I don't think that'll work. Dubsy up in the 9th position, up back up to the lead. Here comes Godzilla to the inside, throws it down the inside and gets it done. But will he get DRS for the next straight? He will get DRS for the next straight. And I think Ty Clear to see Godzilla fly from a distance of this full journey. It's a 3-second time penalty, already 4 laps in, and 4 drives got penalties.
Yeah,
I don't know what's
and
going on there.
Coldzilla and Ty Clare battling has opened the door to Womack now getting back inside the DRS of this train. We now all have the top 7 inside the DRS, the top 7 here. Still have a chance at winning here as Ellis is off, along with Creekry and Vintage Control. Ellis has had a coming together, it seems, with some of the drivers here. And I think that's Ellis's second coming together with a driver here. Needs to recompose as he makes a lovely move on Vintage Control. Meanwhile, Creekry trying to find a way through on Vintage Control.
Yeah, he does indeed. Looking at the front, is anyone going to make me? This could go any way. And it's going to go 3 wide into turn 3. Tyke takes the lead. Here comes Vivo up the inside. Moves up into 2nd place. Condescended falls down from 3rd. He was in 1st a couple of seconds ago. But really, it's not done yet. He's going to absolutely chuck it down the inside. But he hasn't got enough room. And was that Condescended trying to have a look down the inside? I think he's safe for now, and now it's Ty Clear leading. Then it's Room. Then it's Cody Hill. Then it's and that is a cat off. That is a Mercedes off. That is Extreme, I believe. Off into the gravel, went a bit wide into one of the fastest corners of the racetrack. Not really the fastest, but into like 4th or 5th. And he falls down from like 4th all the way down to 7th. Very unlucky.
In the midfield, we also seen that Dub Z picked up front right end plate damage. Battling in the midfield, we've seen a 3-wide moment in the midfield behind as Womack and Ty Clear go into turn 3 yet again. Womack is going to take the lead of the race for the first time for him. But Ty Clear going to look to find a switchback if he can. Coldzilla here putting a nose on the inside, trying to find a way through as well. Can we see? As Womack defends the inside, Ty Clear now round the outside looking for the move. Good defending there from Womack here. Reminder that all the drivers who are inside the top 7 here battling for victory as Arn's lagged out. I'm going to have to get him straight back in if we can. But all the drivers battling here are all battling for their first win this season. Arn is going to lose some positions while we wait for him to get back in again. I think his game crashed again on him, so unfortunate for Arn, he's going to have to try and get back in again. He may lose many positions as a result.
Yeah, just falling down the order already in 7th on a 5-second gap between him and Dobo. Speaking of which, Dubsy, who looks like he has ring damage, is doing awfully well. He's basically pushing that Red Bull across the line. I think he is going to try and make a move, but which way really goes the question? And the answer is, he's going to go to the outside, he's going to take the racing line, That was him awfully late break on Dobo. Is he going to try and get the switch back? No, he gets cut off, but he is going to get another chance down this next straight, slightly shorter, as Ty Clay retakes the lead. Here comes Dubsy to the inside. He's going to chuck it down the inside and gets it done. And
Owen
moves you up into
Womack
PA.
side by side with Ty Clear as Codzilla and the Lanky One side by side. They're 2x2 through the middle sector. Absolutely insane racing. There's a bit of contact between Womack and Ty Clear. Meanwhile, Codzilla and the Lanky One still side by side into the penultimate corner. Codzilla backs out. And after leading this race, he's now down to P4. Almost more contact into the final corner. Codzilla to back out again to avoid a major collision with the Cyber drivers. Lime now pressuring his Ty Clear into turn 1. Sends it in. Gets ahead of Womack. Absolute lightning racing here as they're heading now down into turn 3. Womack now doesn't have the DRS with that major send there from Ty Clear. The Lanky One trying to find a way through. Codzilla on the outside. Wheel banging as well as Lime involved as well. Lime has a front left end plate missing as he has had contact with Codzilla as well here. But this... Oh, Womack is around! Womack is around. He's now back to P6. He's fallen back from that pack, battling.
It's absolute heartbreak. Ty Clay now he takes the lead. The Lanky One in P2. Codzilla is in P3. I think Codzilla had to be the bigger man with the battle of the Lanky One, otherwise it would have ended absolutely terribly. But let's see how Wurum will recover.
Yeah, he's still inside that lead train, so ultimately not a massive amount of damage done. But he's got to be a bit more calm when going for sends. He doesn't need to do any reckless sends this early in the race. Meanwhile, the Lanky One, who's currently on the hard tyres, I believe one of the only drivers on the hard tyres out of this lead pack. Yeah, him and NF on the hard tyres here. So they're doing very well despite being on the reverse strategy in this lead train as Cthulhu gets ahead of Dobo. And they've caught Arn, who's finally rejoined the lobby now.
He's lucky to not fall down much in the order. Cthulhu has now climbed himself back up to 8, so very well done to him. Two main trains going on here, one from P7 all the way down to P12, I might say. And the top 6 all battling for the win. They're just exactly where you want to see.
Oh, there's a car off there. I think that's of vintage control as Arn's lagged out again. I'm going to have to get him back in again. Not having the best of days is Arn with his connection. Meanwhile, we do have a continuing battle here for the lead.
A yellow flag, that is a RB coming to the pit lane. I'm going to see chance for a lead, maybe the chance of P2. Here comes Remoom though, to the inside. He's gonna need a mega send. He doesn't even need that mega send, but he's gonna
chase it. Contact into the side of Lime. Into the side of Lime goes Womack.
Oh, that was not on. That was absolute miles back. This is like 7 seconds behind. He's trying to get both the Mercedes in one corner. It just didn't really work out for him. Oh, he needs to compose himself. That's what he needs to do. And I think that is now earned him a 3-second time penalty, so that will definitely put him on his toes, track limits rise.
And now in lap 10 here, Lime maybe dropping back from Codzilla. Meanwhile, Ty Clear dropping a little bit back from the Lanky One. The Lanky One's hards really starting to work for him. How long can these medium runners hold on to the hard runners? We will see as Womack now comes in to the pit lane for an early stop. He may have to fix his front wing as well. I don't know if we see a front wing waiting for him. There's no front wing waiting for him, so I think he's just going for an undercut. Meanwhile, NF...
They're going to be Ty Clear though.
Oh, Ty into the lead, contact with a Lanky One. Through turn 3 as Ellis is retired, and that's a safety car. It's a safety car. Oh my lord, what's going on here? What happened there? I am not even sure what happened there. There was a lot of carnage, and for everyone with damage, I would pit on its hards to the end and also fix your front wings. But this has really, really cost the lanky one and NF. It is lap 11, and it'll be really a struggle to get mediums to go to the end from here. But the hards will comfortably go to the end now.
Yeah, I was just about to say, the lanky one and technically that incident could have ended really badly. The lanky had to be the bigger man. I think technically did try to spook the lanky one off. He did look as going for a
what
send.
is Ty doing? What is Ty doing? NF and the lanky one have stayed out, which I don't even think is that bad of a shot because they're on the hards anyway. They really wouldn't have been able to do much, whereas Ty had to go hards to the end. I really don't know why he's decided to do that. Meanwhile, Dobo and Godzilla out on mediums now. What tire did Godzilla start on? Godzilla and Dobo also kind of made a horrific error as well, because it's hards to the end from here. Has Lime fixed his front wing?
Mediums.
Lime, honestly, is a net P1 here, the Mercedes, because he's the driver who's on the correct strategy. Meanwhile, Godzilla and Dobo have to pit again, so they are absolutely smoking something. I don't know what they're smoking, but it isn't whatever the correct thing. As well as Dub Z, he's on the softs. That's really the wrong tire to be on. For those of you who are watching the stream and listening, you have to be on the hards to the end. Simply, Ski in the chat says no error, and he says it's because there's rain coming. And I did forget about that, Ski, so you're right. The drivers who are on the mediums, I forgot. There still is mediums, or there still is rain coming. And Ty Clear's going in now, which is even more surprising, to be honest. But with the rain coming,
remember, though.
Yeah, the rain coming, that'll throw a spanner in the works. And Ty Clear going on to the sauce until the rain, I assume.
Yeah, you've got to remember, though, the hards worked really good for a lanky one. It was absolutely flying in this past couple of laps for the safety car. And from like P6 to P1 in like 2 laps with amazing battles with Godzilla, who might say is on the medium, just going for brand new fresh and medium compound tyres. But for the rain, if it does come in time, that will work out effortlessly for Godzilla, because since everybody's on hard, he's obviously going to get the advantage for the opening couple laps of the race restart. Which will then, when the rain does come, or if it does come, that'll put him into the lead, box it into it, and if he gets it right, he'll be in the race lead.
Yeah, but as it stands, the top 4 who are all on the hards want the inters to come as soon as possible. They want the rain to come as soon as possible. And Skeefy in the chat is rooting for his good friend Godzilla, who currently, again, well, I guess we can now say he's a net P1 really out of the pit stops. He's the front runner out of the drivers who have pit, and under this safety car restart could find his way through the top 4, but they will not be easy pickings at all. Godzilla's going to have to play it smart and try and find his way as safely through the field as possible. Meanwhile, Dubsy's gone back in again, and now I don't know what's happening. Is he going for hards to the end now, or is he going softs? I don't know. Oh, Dubsy's got inters now! We can't even see any rain, and Dubsy's already on the inters.
Yeah, no. That is a gamble. That is an absolute gamble. That is a very risky gamble.
If we can see the rain come down right now, then Dubsy's pulled the blinder, but it needs to start raining right now for him to take advantage of that. Otherwise, his inters will be cooked even by the time the rain comes out. So Dub is hoping for the rain to start coming down. Now we're going to keep an eye for the clouds to see is there any rain coming down.
He has got to bear in mind though, when this safety car going to come in, because look at how far Oil Bean is, and look at how far for Junior's. But I think I just jinxed it. The safety car is coming in the slap, and that is not good news for Dubsy on the medium compound tires. Just caught up. There's over those tires will overheat like absolute crazy.
Yeah,
But
Dubsy
now,
is going to
look
be
at this
absolutely
leader.
swamped in the restart. Oh, Lanky One losing the rear, trying to get some heat in those tires. But Dubsy, I think, has made the wrong strategy call here. That there's no rain at all there. He's probably going to lose all the time he would have gained probably on the first lap of being out there, to be honest. So Dubsy is going to be swamped here immediately. And we'll see when the Lanky One does get us restarted. Can anyone capitalise as the Lanky One is gone now? NF in behind. Cthulhu trying to find a way through as well. Michael Louis, who's on controller for today. Can he get a good result despite essentially having a disadvantage, not using the controller input that he would like? Normally Michael Louis is on wheel as Codzilla now goes into P4, battling with Michael Louis. Essentially, these two are championship rivals as Codzilla trying to pick his way through the front five here. Already up to P3 goes the medium runner. Oh, and he's almost into the back of Cthulhu.
Oh,
As Walmax
contact.
trying to find his way through as well. Michael Louis involved in some contact. Oh, and Michael Louis onto the grass, trying to back out here. Stephen Beecham may now get around the outside. Walmax is into the gravel. Big air from Walmax there into the gravel. Ty Clear, who's on the softs now, into P9. Lime on the inside of Michael Louis, trying to find a way through. Absolute carnage onto the safety car. Restart Michael Louis. Oh, he's getting squirrely on the rear. Lovely move from Lime. What a switchback through the final corner. The DRS is now enabled as Ty Clear looking to get past Michael Louis. Codzilla now into P2 ahead of Cthulhu. Cthulhu's ghosted. Big mistake from Cthulhu. Whatever's happened with him. Ty Clear now round the outside of Cthulhu. He's made a big error out of turn one, but Ty Clear's going to get ahead now of Cthulhu. Lime now battling with Stephen Beecham. Lime ghosted, it seems, as Dobo and Codzilla now into P2 and 3. As we have switching everywhere. Whoa, Max now has damage, battling with Michael Louis. Big mistake from Michael Louis. Big mistake from Stephen Beecham. Stephen Beecham off into the gravel now. Way down the order, Michael Louis had contact with the Astons, I believe. This is a Ferrari off of Ty Clear. Ty Clear missing a front left end plate. So much carnage under this safety car restart. Can't believe what I'm seeing as it's getting darker out there now. We may start to see the rain come down now. As Forward Journey now back into P9. As Ty Clear battling with Walmax. Forward Journey now round the outside of Walmax. Side by side he goes. Ty Clear. Oh, contact. Massive contact. Ty Clear into the side of Cthulhu. And Forward Journey and Walmax both get caught up in that carnage. There is so much carnage, we don't even know where to look, as there's a Haas of Ard having a jink left and right. There's cars absolutely everywhere. Who do we even commentate? As Walmax now battling with Pneumatic and Forward Journey now. Oh, big contact with Forward Journey and Walmax now. Walmax contact, rear ends Arn, and he's going round.
That is everything round as well.
Yeah, Arn in the Haas
as well.
got punted off by Walmax. There is going to be so much penalties after this race. Meanwhile, Codzilla now in the lead of the race, 1.1 ahead of the Lanky One. Dubo in the Red Bull's got to do something to make a move. Otherwise, he's going to lose loads of time to the McLaren. Meanwhile, NF and Lime as well, looking for a move through as soon as they can. Walmax has picked up another time penalty. Oh, and NF Extreme into the rear of Dobo. And a front right end plate is gone for the Mercedes driver. As Dobo does get through on the Lanky One.
Yeah, very beautiful move from the Red Bull driver. I told you about Codzilla. I told you he would go into P1. Here comes the two Aston Martin drivers battling. Slight contact. A lot of front ring misses, by the way.
Yeah.
Michael Lewis is going to be left very vulnerable. There goes Rivu to the inside. Can LDS get involved? There's another driver getting involved. There's Pneumatic throwing it down the inside. Oh, slight contact through there.
Yeah, Pneumatic side by side with Cthulhu.
Cut out. But here comes Nusay.
As there's a yellow flag out, the Lanky One. The Lanky One drops down to P5. as
Yeah,
there's been
does it
so much
again.
carnage.
Yeah, it does it again. While F1 Lime in P3 right now, still within the average range of Dobo, so we could see a change to
Oh, a front
P2
wing
here.
gone for forward journey as he comes into the side of Pneumatic as the rain now starting to come down. We see the lanky one an hour into the pit lane. They've got to go for inters, surely. It is probably too early for inters in truth, but I'm sure they have damage that they need to fix anywhere as Lime and Dobo come together, battling over P2, and Condzilla seems to be the rainmaster here. He's already got a 3-second gap over the drivers behind.
Yes, it has indeed. Very beautiful move. Let's see other battles going on here. Are we going to see any other battles? Dubs up into 14th, by the way. It's classic, worked out as originally planned. Dobo still putting the trust on, but who will come in to the pit this lap? I don't think anybody will, but you never know. That is a yellow flag. That is a big control is going to go out of the way. I don't think nobody's coming in for a fresh new inters.
Oh, Michael Louis goes very deep trying to check the pit entry.
Oh, Joe Jarvis pitting. That is NF Extreme, Michael Lewis, no say, Cthulhu, Forward Journey, and Pneumatic. And Greeky. That is a lot of drivers coming in for inters.
We're also going to see a lot of new front wings as well. For a lot of drivers there was so much carnage under that safety car restart. A lot of front wings needed as we've got an absolutely jam-packed pit lane.
We are seeing the top 6, I believe. Very still, I just think Cthulhu. Oh
no! Lime into the rear of Dobo! Lime! A front right end blade goes off Lime's Mercedes. Another missing front wing for the Mercedes driver as he goes into the rear of Dobo in the Red Bull. As everyone seems to be struggling there out on these inters now, in these wet conditions, as everyone seems to be switching to inters now. The DRS is now disabled, which is the ultimate indicator that it is definitely time to pit. But the lanky one, who has been the ultimate benefactor out of the pit stop so far, he's up to P6 now. As Condzilla, Lime, Dobo all come in. Cthulhu going to come in as well. And Ollie Bean going to come in. He's going to be the last driver to come in. And we'll see where the lanky one...
Take the lead.
Yeah, we'll see where he comes out. Does he jump any positions? We think Condzilla's going to keep the lead now. Condzilla exiting the box ahead of Dobo. Lime's has had to fix another front wing. So the lanky one has gained a lot of positions now. He's into the podium positions, into P3. And Dubsy, despite us thinking he was crazy under that safety car restart, he has emerged into P5 here. After pitting for the inters on a dry track, it has seemed to work for him. Meanwhile, the Astons go side by side of Womax. Cthulhu Extreme is involved in this battle as well. And Extreme now looking for a move on Cthulhu into turn 4. We go. Lovely move from Extreme there. Outbreaks the Aston Martin driver. And into P9 he goes as Cthulhu into the grass, making an error on the exit of turn 4. As a lot of drivers out there struggling, but yeah, go ahead, DJ.
Yeah, drivers still struggling during the rain. You have got to bear in mind, there's just tier 2, so you will see a lot of actions that you don't really see in tier 1. That is tomorrow night, by the way. Please go watch it. But yeah, that is Michael Lewis going way off into the last turn. While NF Extreme, by the way, he's the only one who's got any penalties apart from Michael Lewis, the lanky one, Dobo, and Condzilla. So yeah. Any batteries going on? That is a lap car. Not a actual battery.
We've got Womax into the side of the Ferrari at turn 3. And SNZ, the driver from the United Arab Emirates, coming together with the Aston Martin. Meanwhile, NF Extreme looking on the inside of the Ferrari as well, trying to find a way through. And I believe the steward's going to be very busy after this one, because there's been so much contact this race, and we're only halfway through at this stage. NF Extreme now all over the rear.
NF Extreme.
Yeah, all over the rear of the Ferrari driver.
Contact.
Yeah, slight contact, avoids picking up extra damage for that Mercedes. I think we're going to see the Ferrari driver into the pit lane, and we are missing a front wing. And SNZ now into the pit lane he goes. Meanwhile, Codzilla, as Skeefy in the chat said, Codzilla knew exactly what he was doing. Onto that safety car, pit onto the mediums, and emerged in P1 now. He's got a 4-second lead over Dobo, who is 5 seconds ahead of the lanky one, but the lanky one does have F1 Lime for company, who's on 2 laps, fresher inters, but does have time penalties as well for the Mercedes driver. Meanwhile, Womax now on the rear of NF Extreme. And Womax has been in the wars this evening. And we'll see what the stewards have to say about some of his incidents. Some of his incidents, I feel like he has been going for a move and the drivers have just turned in on him. But we'll have to see what the stewards say as they review the incidents.
It's a Red Bull. Oh, that is pneumatic, but no, that's not pneumatic. That is vintage control.
As Dub Z may be coming into the pit lane, and he is. Dub Z coming in to fix a front wing. As Michael Louis is going to get into P5 ahead of Dub Z. As NF Extreme now on the rear of the Williams driver. And it's been a brilliant race so far by Michael Louis. Michael Louis on pad this evening, when normally he races on wheel. And to pick up a P5 in that circumstance is pretty good. Meanwhile, NF Extreme and Womax side by side into turn 3. Womax is switched to the inside, going for the move. And lovely move it is from the Aston. As we're going to have to try and get Aaron back in again.
That was a absolutely beautiful move from Turuva, but here comes NF Extreme.
Ooh, he's into the rear of the Aston.
With it. Slight contact, very slight contact. That is Michael Lewis very much feeling the pressure. The gap now is 7 tenths, but I do think the battling between the two will manage to keep Michael Lewis in P5. What a drive he has driven so far. I mean, absolutely outstanding. F1 Lime still putting on the pressure with the lanky one. The gap still within the RS range, but if he had any, but it is raining, so he will not get the RS.
Scones into the rear of Ollie Bean through turn 7. As Scones trying to find a way through, as Ollie Bean losing the rear this way and that.
Ooh.
As Ollie Bean and Scones stuck behind the Red Bull of Pneumatic.
Yeah, this is the battle for P10. Here comes Scones side by side. There's no place for overtake. Biaglis overtake. Scones down the inside. Tired him a bit. He does lose the rear slightly on exit, and that will cost him. Stays down in P12. Look how much pneumatic has ran away with it.
Yeah, lovely battling though. They both kept it clean through turn 1, which is such a tight apex. So very difficult to stay side by side through there. But both of them kept it respectable. And both of them have avoided damage as well. But
yeah, meanwhile, F1 Lime still putting on the pressure with the lanky one.
I want to be yellow flag. Vintage control's out. It's a safety car. Safety car. Vintage control out. Exiting turn 3. And it's a safety car that has undone Codzilla's great work. But thankfully for Codzilla, he is going to get ahead of the safety car. He's not stuck behind the safety car, so Codzilla will be able to put on fresh inters for the final 10 laps, as well as everyone will be able to put on fresh inters. And it also gives Aaron an opportunity to get back into the lobby, who had lagged out. So Aaron still has an opportunity at good points here. But for everyone listening, it is absolutely inters to the end. I would box for fresh inters. You'll get the biggest advantage out of fresh inters. But we do see Womax coming up, as well as Cthulhu, but the safety car's now stopped because the safety car is waiting to pick up the leader, that is Codzilla. Meanwhile, the lanky one currently in P5, essentially as a net P3. And also for the drivers listening, make sure you don't get a drive through as Dubsy picks up a 3-second under the safety car, which you never want to do. But even more so, you do not want to pick up a drive through. And I'll give Arn another invite just in case he didn't get the first one. And hopefully Arn should be able to stay with us for the remaining laps, but I don't know if Arn, I think he now does have control of his car. Hopefully he can get in and put on some fresher inters than the one he has, as Wawa we've seen Godzilla and Dobo come into the pit lane as Arn's left the session again. We've got Cthulhu and Wawa as Cthulhu.
Yeah, it's going to be Aston Martin.
Cthulhu's going to stay out.
We take the race lead.
Well, Godzilla's a good distance ahead of him, so he will not, but...
Missing the P3, there's at least a podium place.
Oh no!
Secured, but after penalties...
NF Extreme has encountered a pit glitch on his screen. He can't even enter the pit box on our screen. He's just stuck there. What?
Yeah.
I do not believe what I'm seeing. This is horrific, EA. And NF Extreme now... He may get lapped if it doesn't let him. NF Extreme. Oh, it's actually now let him leave the pit box finally, but he's now down to last. Thankfully, he's not lapped, so he will be able to recover some of what was lost. But a pit glitch that has cost him a minute in race time has dropped him now to the back of the field. Heartbreak for NF Extreme now. But Godzilla...
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, Godzilla will resume the lead of the race with 9 laps to go in this race, but we still have a lot of drivers who need to get caught up to the safety car. I think NF Extreme is lapped, actually. I think he is lapped. I think that's it. NF Extreme, his race is done because he's stuck behind everyone. He's a minute down from the field. So, unfortunately, that is his race done and dusted after having such a terrific start here in WHF Tier 2. A safety car glitch where he tried to pit. It just wouldn't let him pit. And now he's lapped. So, unfortunately for NF Extreme, he probably won't be scoring points today unless we see 2 drivers ahead of him retire, which is still likely. But with 8 laps to go, it's...
time penalties as well.
Yeah, you're right,
yeah,
DJ. We'll check the penalties.
Yeah, a lot of penalties, must I say. Nothing like this, 12 seconds. So does Cthulhu. 12 seconds, I don't think he'll be getting on the podium anytime soon. But I do think the safety car will come in this lap, so we will get a 8-lap dash, maybe with a 7-lap dash if it doesn't come in. We are pushing sector 2, sector 3 right now, and we are going to go for another lap.
Yeah, we still have Cree to get caught up to the pack, but NF Extreme, whenever he gets caught up to the pack, he'll still be lapped by all the drivers from 16th and up. As you can see, he'll rejoin behind Ty Clear. So unfortunately for NF Extreme, his race is pretty much done at this stage. He's unlikely to get any significant points here with him being lapped.
I don't think he's lapped.
No, he is lapped because he's ahead of Cree on track, but he's actually behind Cree. And you can see in his delta, he's a minute down. So unfortunately for NF Extreme, he is lapped, but there's not much we can do about that. But we'll have a look at the position changes. Godzilla maintains his pole position. Meanwhile, Dobo up 6, Cthulhu up 11, but does have 12 seconds of time penalties. Ollie Bean as well, up 8 positions, but Ollie does have 6 seconds as well. A lot of drivers who have avoided time penalties should be able to benefit as Arn's retired from the session. It's retired his car. Despite him being in the points, I think because he lagged out again, it just retired his car. And despite Arn not being on the correct tyres, he could have actually got a decent result there, as the safety car will be in this lap. But heartbreak for Arn. Just his connection's not been there today. He's rejoined. And unfortunately for Arn, his car has been retired. But
yeah, that was absolute heartbreak, man. Anyway, now back at the front, we are going to get a 7-lap dash all the way to the checkered flag. But the main question is, when is Godzilla going to decide to go and Stephen Butchum gets a 10-second time penalty? That is not going to see so late on in the race, especially while on a massive P14. But anyway, then will he go? He's going very slowly. So it's Dobo behind him, that is Cthulhu, but that's got 12-second time penalties, so it won't really work out. And it's Godzilla chooses to go now, and it's NSX team retires from the session. They're gonna get, after this, about around now, there's only 6 laps remaining in the WHF Tier 2 Austin Grand Prix. Godzilla leads the way from Dobo, from Cthulhu, from the lanky one, from F1 Live, from Oilbean, from Michael Lewis, from Scones, from Dubsy. That was a top 10 coverage for you. Now, are we going to see some overtakes into turn 1?
Into turn 3.
Here comes the lanky one.
What a day from the lanky one. Absolute miracle send as F1 Live follows him through, and they both get through on Cthulhu. But what a dive from the lanky one as Lime looking through on the lanky one as well. Side by side they go into turn 4. Oh, there's banging, and Lime has forced the lanky one off track on the exit of turn 4, and the lanky one is going to drop behind Cthulhu as well. The lanky one was in with a shout of winning here as Walmax gets through on Michael Louis, as both Williams in behind the Aston driver now. But currently it's a straight fight between Dobo and Godzilla for the win, as Walmax trying to find a way through, and Ollie Bean almost into the rear of the Alpine driver. And Walmax gets a better exit out of the final corner, and the Aston driver will get through into P6. Meanwhile, Michael Louis on the rear of the Alpine. Ollie Bean looking for a way back through on the Aston, as Michael Louis with a lovely switch back through turn 1 on the Alpine driver. What a move it is from P2 in the championship, as Scones gonna try and find a way through, as Dubsy gonna try and find a way through. We're 3 wide. Dubsy's in the wall. Dubsy put into the wall in a 3 wide moment. Heartbreak for the McLaren. Meanwhile, the lanky one ghosted. He's had contact with someone, dropping him down to P6 now.
Yeah, there's a battle with the lanky one. This is absolute chaos in the midfield. 3 wide into turn 1.
Oh, Ollie Bean has rear-ended Michael Louis.
Ollie Bean as well.
Ollie Bean has rear-ended Michael Louis, as there's been absolute carnage. Ridiculous amount of carnage here.
That is absolute carnage. Now the odd here comes Scotland, so the two Williams battling away, but I do think Michael Lewis should get the better. 4 laps to go now. 4 laps to go. Oh, that is completely going very wide. That'll cost him Scones.
Oh, Scones got a penalty. Meanwhile, Michael Louis trying to find a way through on Cthulhu as well. Through turn 1, Owen, forward journey in SNZ. Battling through turn 1.
Yeah. I was going to make a move. That is Michael Lewis.
Oh, SNZ had to absolutely stamp on the brakes to avoid going in the rear of forward journey. A major save there from the Ferrari driver to avoid that. Meanwhile, the lanky one trying to get through on Walmax, and F1 Lime here could be within a shot of a podium. He has only 3 seconds of time penalties. The lanky one's going to surely want to make a move on Walmax to try and get himself on the podium ahead of forward journey. Meanwhile, forward journey, Scones is off. Scones, I don't know how he saved it. When we were on board with him, he was absolutely not in control of that car. And Scones now drops behind SNZ and forward journey now into the
It
penultimate
goes
corner.
down the
Scones goes.
inside.
Lovely move there from Scones as Pneumatic looks for a move through on the Ferrari. Meanwhile, Ty Clear trying to find a way through on Pneumatic as well. There's been so many moves in this race. I bet we couldn't even count them. Meanwhile, Michael Louis still trying to find a way through in Cthulhu. We still have a battle for the...
Michael Lewis.
Yeah, Michael Louis looking for a move on Cthulhu. Always into the rear of the Aston.
Slight contact. Now this AM play off for the Williams driver. Absolute heartbreak with 3 laps to go. Oh, that's absolute heartbreak.
One forward journey now on the inside of Michael Louis. And the Sauber driver side by side with the Williams. Meanwhile, Scones and SNZ. SNZ leaves the track. Scones going to get through. Back again. As there's been so much drama this race.
Yes, it has indeed. Look at that big chain lift from Cthulhu all the way down to Oil Bean. Balish from 6th all the way down to 13th. Look how tight it is. Scones with ring damage as well. He's done the points as well. Very respectable.
As we're on the third final lap.
34.
Yeah, Codzilla leads on a big snap out of the rear. Pneumatics retired out of the final corner. There'll be no safety car because we're too late in the race, but Codzilla made a massive snap out of turn 1, which has allowed Dobo the opportunity to close up. Oh no!
Get off!
Michael Louis into the wall! As Cthulhu also into the wall! Absolute carnage! Michael Louis out of the race on the third final lap, and Michael Louis will make no inroads in the championship, but Codzilla, if he wins here, he may take P2 in the championship. This is major for the championship here. Can Codzilla defend from Dobo as we're about to head on to the penultimate lap here? So much carnage in one race. Does Dobo have enough in the tank to get ahead of Codzilla? Will Codzilla get his first win of the season? Meanwhile, Womack's all over the rear of Lime as well. The lanky one has an opportunity at a P3 with both drivers ahead of him having penalties. And I'm sure the stewards are going to be chucking out so many more penalties here. As we're now on the penultimate lap, we've got Womack's on the rear of F1 Lime. Dobo closing on Codzilla. He's 2/10 behind here on the penultimate lap. Does Dobo have enough in the tank to get ahead of Codzilla? Scones picks up another time penalty. Womack's now on the inside of Lime. Gets ahead. Scones now on the behind forward journey. Oh, late on the brakes. A little bit of a love tap on forward journey now. Lime trying to find a way back through Womack's, but I think Lime knows he'll have Womack's on penalties, but he won't have the lanky one on penalties. The lanky one should still get P3 here. But as we head through the middle sector in the lead battle here, Codzilla and Dobo head on to the final lap of this race. Who will win? Will it be the McLaren of Codzilla, or will it be the Red Bull of Dobo? Codzilla currently sits P3 in the championship. Dobo currently sits P4 in the championship. Neither have a win this season. It would be their first win this season if they can pick it up. Can Codzilla, the Rainmaster, win here in Austria, or will it be Dobo? Dobo has 2 more straights to do it. Can he find a way through? He's absolutely giving it everything, but he might be too far back from Codzilla, who's defended masterfully here from pole. Codzilla, who started the race from P7, isn't close enough to make a move, but can he get the traction out of turn 3? It's a drag race now down to turn 4, as Codzilla, I think, has done enough. He's defended masterfully this whole race, and finally can Codzilla pick up the win that's been eluding him this season so far here in Tier 2. And with this win, Codzilla could move up to P2 in the championship, ahead of Michael Louis, who retired on lap 34 here. Just 2 more corners to go with Codzilla to navigate ahead of Dobo. Dobo's fought valiantly, but the McLaren driver will not be denied here in Spielberg, despite how the wet rain has absolutely thrown a spanner in the works. Codzilla will finally get a win here in round 8. Codzilla wins in Spielberg ahead of Dobo. Meanwhile, Womack's will finish P3 on track, but Lame and the lanky one will surely jump him. The lanky one gets P3, picks up the podium ahead of Lame and Womax, followed by Forward Journey Scollins into P6 with his best result of the season. SNZ into P8 with Tightclear jumping up to P7. Ollie Bean into P10. Cthulhu, who had damage, big coming together with Michael Louis, will finish P11. Meanwhile, Dubsy and Creakery will round out the finishers here in Tier 2. But what absolute carnage here in Round 8 Austria. We did not expect that much carnage here in Austria. We thought all the carnage had left us after Abu Dhabi. But absolute insane scenes. Dubsy will round the field out in P13, but it will be his McLaren teammate in Codzilla who picks up the win, and Codzilla's first win of the season to take P2 in the championship now for the McLaren driver. Gets pole and the win here. Tightclear picks up the fastest lap as well. Michael Louis still classifies after that race, so will still pick up points. And I'll get the race director because I'm sure it may be needed. And also, I'm sure a lot of the drivers are going to want to put reports in after that absolutely chaotic one. But Codzilla wins ahead of Dobo, ahead of the lanky one, followed by Lime, Womack, Scones, Tightclear, SNZ, Forward Journey, Ollie Bean is your top 10. Meanwhile, Creakery, Cthulhu, Dubsy, Michael Louis and Nudomatic will all finish inside the points. Unfortunately, the bottom 5 all retired, so will not be picking up any points this evening. But what a race, DJ.
Yeah, what a race indeed. Absolute carnage, by the way. It's like 5 laps, I believe. I don't know. But yeah, very well done to Codzilla for getting his first win. And yeah, very, very, very lot of incidents. I do think that the FIA will be quite busy for the remaining night of the 29th of March. So yeah, see you later.
Yeah, that was an intense race, and we're going to move on now to the driver interviews to see who we can get in and interview on the podium there. And I'll see if we can get any of the podium sitters into the Discord if we can. But as we wait for the drivers to come in, thank you all for everyone who has watched and raced with us here in Tier 2. Absolute carnage, that race. Absolute carnage. And it was Codzilla who picked up the victory. But I think with that result, Codzilla moves up to P2 in the championship ahead of Michael Louis, who retired on lap 34 with contact with Cthulhu, it seemed. But as the drivers come in, we will start our interviews with the lanky one who was able to finish on in P3, picking up the podium. The lanky one, how'd your race go?
It was a tough one. A couple of little moments during the race. I felt that I had the pace in me to bring the fight for the win, but with a couple of unfortunate events, it is part of racing. That was taken away from me, but I'm happy with the P3 either way, as I managed to recover a few positions back after it.
Yeah,
but the rain difficult. Yeah, the rain. It took a while to get the track wet. So the first lot of inters, the rears, the wear was quite high on them. So I think that's why quite a few of us, when that safety car came out, switched for a fresh set. But yeah, it just took its time getting the track wet.
Yeah, it did seem like some drivers were able to take advantage of it. You were one of the drivers who was one of the early pitters along with Dub Z, and were able to emerge from the pit lane after all the pit stops in P4 and 5 respectively. But with that last safety car, it did seem like a win was possible for either Codzilla, Dobo, or yourself, the lanky one. And then just as racing happens, there's always carnage. But we'll like to see you come back next week to see if there's another opportunity for a victory. But there was definitely a lot of carnage that race. But despite all the carnage, you still did pick up a podium. So congrats to yourself.
And yeah, I'm happy with it. Like I say, podium's still a good spot, and I started, I think, 6th. I think it might have been 5th, but yeah, it was a tough one to manage, like you say, with all the carnage and that. So I'll take the podium.
Yeah, very good result. We'll move on to the driver who finished P2. Did have a chance at a win, but was unable to find a way through on the McLaren. Dobo, how'd that race go for you?
To be fair, it didn't actually start off very well. I got spun into turn 1 and was down to like 17th, but I managed to just like focus and keep it clean. Then the rain actually helped me, had some good pace in the wet actually, which surprised me. And I was just trying to push Cod at the end, but wasn't able to get him.
Yeah, and it did seem like even on the penultimate lap, a lunge was on. You were 2/10 back. At any point did you think I should go for a lunge, or were you waiting for a particular opportunity?
Yeah, to be fair, now thinking of it, I probably should have gone for the lunge, but also in the wet, you just don't want to just take anyone out or like outbrake yourself. So I was just trying to play it safe as well. But yeah, perhaps that was the opportunity. The lap before was probably the closest I got.
Yeah, but despite that, a great driver, a great recovery drive as well. I honestly, there was too much carnage. I could not keep track of where anyone was. All I knew was Codzilla was in the lead most of the time, because it was easy. Because it was easy to keep track of him, whereas everyone else was absolutely scattered throughout the field. But regardless, a brilliant result there, Dobo. And I think with that result, you may move up potentially to P3 in the championship, with Michael Louis retiring on lap 34. He may lose some positions in the championship to both Cod and yourself. But congrats on the P2 to yourself, Dobo. But speaking of Codzilla, the man who I have many times referred to as the Weather Master, the Rain Master, he does it again, and Codzilla wins in Austria. Codzilla, how'd that race go for you?
Stressful. I am stressed out massively. I am massively stressed out. It's like the first off of like after the restart, I thought, I go for a little pee, come back, and everyone's fucked off. So yeah, that was a little bit stressful because obviously I didn't know, but obviously Ski relayed to me that it was an instant restart, so I just recomposed myself. Then qualifying, yeah, I just like judged that right, grabbing pole right at the end. But then the race, I was like trying to break the DRS very early because I know how powerful the DRS is around Austria. And so, but yeah, I was mainly composed all through the race, knowing that the rain was coming midway through. So it was about getting the inters into temperature and just pushing on. Then obviously that last safety car, Turbo kept me on my toes for them last 2 laps because I was on 2 warnings. So yeah, I was like very cautious for them last 2 laps, and like I said, I did think Turbo would lunge me into turn 2. Thinking that it was an opportunity, but ultimately, yeah, I was very comfortable throughout, really.
Yeah, and a magnificent result. We earlier in the season seen you in Spain with an opportunity to win but picked up a penalty with the stewards. So finally, you've been able to essentially avenge that loss and finally get that first win, which
Yes,
I'm
still salty, very salty.
But I'm sure you feel a bit better now that you have that win that has alluded you to this point. And
Yes. I mean, ultimately, I think everyone, 100% of everyone that league races, just want clean, hard racing.
Mhm.
That's all. That's all we ever ask for. That when we have a stream, it puts on a show for the stream, and we just want to have a good, clean racing, regardless who's at the front, who's mid pack, who's at the rear, all the way down to like P1 down to P20. We just want fun, clean racing.
yeah, exactly. And for the most part, there was a lot of that. Although there was a lot of carnage that race, a lot of cars going every direction, some contact, and we'll have to see what the stewards decide. There'll maybe some penalties heading some drivers' ways, but regardless, it was a very much a fun one to watch. We'll see who else is in the party who wants to be interviewed as well. They're here. We'll start with F1 Lime. If you're there, F1 Lime, how'd your race go?
Decent. But I think I need to take a very long, hard look in the mirror the next week and work on my spatial awareness because that was not good today and it wasn't good last week in Tier 1 either. Pushing a few drivers off, didn't really know they were there, so I need to kind of keep my wits about me, look around all the time. Maybe pay attention to my proximity arrows a bit more, move them around so I know where they are. Besides contact with a few drivers, it went well, better than I thought. If I didn't get that penalty, then maybe it would have been a podium. But I don't really know. Apart from that, it was good. The rain came, a bit surprising. Worn tyres out pretty fast, so I had to pit on that second safety car. But yeah, apart from that, it was a decent race, I think. Better decent than Abu Dhabi, and I'm trying to make a better name for myself and not piss people off. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, despite that, it is a P4 finish, wasn't it?
Yes, it is good.
But that's still a decent result. We'll have to see what the stewards demote you down to. If you have been a naughty boy, we'll have to see what the stewards find. But regardless, still a decent race. And I'll be excited to see more from you next week as we head to Baku. And we'll move on now to Ledgeman. Ledgeman, you were the first to retire from the race. What happened in your incident?
Absolute shambles, mate. Coming out of turn 10, went on the throttle way too aggressively. Got some rear wheel spin, came off the throttle very quickly, but it was already too late. Tapped the wall at a bit of a dodgy angle, about 45 degrees. Front right came completely off. Boom, DNF. I had no time. Couldn't do anything.
Heartbreak for yourself, but
absolute was proper gutters.
Despite that, you were having a decent race up until that point. Hopefully, next time out you can. I would like to say you could keep it on the track, but next week is Baku. I feel like it may be worse than what we've seen today. There may be a lot of drivers into the wall at that castle section. I'm hoping that you're not one of them.
Yeah, I really hope so too, because that'll be auto safety, possibly red flag. So
thankfully we don't have red flags put on in this game because they're already pretty bugged because we did see NF Extreme that race. The Mercedes had entered the pit lane, and at no point did Mercedes want to switch his tires, so he ended up getting lapped as a result. So if we can avoid the game bugs as much as possible, that'd be great for anyone at EA listening. But regardless, Ellis, you've got 2 races under your belt, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week as well.
Yes, thank you. No problem.
And we'll also move on to the final driver who's in the party to interview. Ollie, how'd that race go for you?
It didn't get off to a good start. I didn't brake hard enough. A lot of people going into turn 1 right off the start. They broke a lot earlier than I thought they were going to. I ended up getting wing damage. Had to box, had to cede some positions, so I didn't want to hold anyone up. But I was having a good drive up until the first safety car allowed me to catch the pack a small bit. And coming into like the wet weather and things, I was all on the inters. I thought it'd be a good idea to hold them because they didn't get much damage and wear to them, so I thought I'd be able to hold it. And P10 was given to me like a Christmas present, you know. Everyone in front of me, he just crashed, and it was a good result from P15 to P10.
Mm-hmm.
Although it wouldn't have been if everyone didn't crash in front of me, but it's a decent result, I suppose.
That's still good points. I'm trying to remember how much points P10 is now. Let me just write in a random name. P10 that's 7 points for yourself.
I'll take it.
So decent points, and looking forward to seeing you next week in Baku. As hopefully there's less carnage. We've seen you involved in a lot of carnage last time out in Abu Dhabi, where we've seen a driver who, if for those of you in the Twitch chat who are not aware, we had a driver who picked up 112 penalty points, who Ollie Bean encountered himself. And for those of you who are unaware, he's also been banned since. Also, in our league, it is 24 penalty points to receive a season ban, and this man picked up 112 to show you how much of a nightmare that man had. But thankfully, we had less carnage from one person that race, but we had probably equal amounts of carnage from so many different drivers that race. There was so many drivers who caused multiple incidents, so we'll even see how much gets reported. There was so much incidents that I could not even keep track of it while trying to commentate on it. But as we head to Baku, I would like to say it's going to get better. Someone may say it can't get worse, and my answer would be it can. Especially in Baku. But thank you for your interview, Ollie, and I think what we're going to do now is find someone to raid on our way out now. But for those of you who haven't followed yet, please do. Thank you for the follows in the chat. As Connor and Saeed, I believe, were the followers today. Thank you for the follows. For anyone else who would like to follow, please do. As tomorrow, Tier 1 heads to Miami before Tier 2 returns next weekend on Saturday in Baku, where you'll have me again for commentary. Tomorrow you'll have Scones for commentary. But let's find someone to raid on our way out. Who can we raid? Who's live? Let us raid the ARC League. But thank you all for watching. If you have enjoyed, please drop... Actually, I think ARC are just finishing their race as well, so we'll find someone else to raid who's not finishing their stream as well. Skin Shaggy. Let us raid Skin Shaggy. Skin Shaggy, a friend from TAR who's commentating a 100% race at Silverstone. Make sure to give Skin Shaggy a follow. But I've been WHFRO. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for Tier 1 Miami. But thank you all for watching, and goodbye.